The razor makes a sound like a whisper, sharpened to an edge. Steel drawn slow down leather, back and up, back and up. The barber working the strop while you sink into the chair with your collar open, and a whole easy Saturday evening laid out ahead of you. A warm towel over the jaw, the lather cool going on, the blade cooler still. Out past the open door, Main Street in Milford is all June dust and long gold light, wagon wheels and the smell of the river beyond it. The town settling towards supper just the way it has every Saturday of your life. You're not a big man, you never were, but there isn't a soul in this stretch of Clermont County who doesn't know your name, and the ones that know you best know that your slight build has never once meant soft. You carry more fight than men twice your size, and everyone in Milford would tell you so. At home, the girl you've loved since the two of you were children is keeping your supper warm. You married her. Out of a whole life, you got that much right. The barber tilts your chin. The blade starts its clean, scraping music up the throat. And then, the street outside comes apart. It starts as a knot of noise down at the corner, raised voices, a scuffle, the particular ugly music of men who have been drinking too long into the hot evening. A man named Thomas Frey has been waving a revolver. They arrested him, but turned him loose again. And no sooner is he free than he is shoving that pistol into the faces of two women. And his brother is bellowing that no lawman in this town is man enough to take him. You are half-shaved, one cheek still white with lather, and Frey breaks and runs. You can stay in the chair. You probably should stay in the chair. Instead, you were on your feet, towel dropped, out the door and into the dust, because that's who you are, and everyone knew it. The slight man who runs toward the trouble. The marshal is already pounding down Main after him, a group of men strung out behind. And somewhere in that chaos, one of Frey's friends jams a pistol against the pursuer's skull and swears he'll fire if the man takes another step. The evening tilts. The gold light goes hard and you run. The chase spills off the street and in through the gate of the Oddfellows Cemetery on the north side of town. And now you're among the dead. Headstones sliding past, June grass gone to seed and dry against your legs. The marshal ahead of you and Frey ahead of him. And you are gaining, forging to the front. You are quick and closing the gap. Careful, the marshal throws back at you. Careful. Frey turns while he runs. You see an arm come up. You see the small black eye of the muzzle swing around and find you. And the world narrows to that one dark point. The first shot cracks past the marshal. He fires back. Frey fires again and again. The reports flat and quick between the stones. Powder smoke hanging in the dead still air like breath on a cold morning. Except it's not cold, it's June. Everything is warm and moving too fast. You are almost on him. You gather yourself to spring, and the gun comes up one last time. There's a sign that is less heard and more of a blow, a fist of noise driven into the middle of you, and the warmth you feel now, spreading, low in your body where nothing should be spreading. You land on him anyway. Even now, you land on him and pin him to the earth, and the last thing your hands do well is hold him down while the men tear the empty revolver from his fist. 5 chambers, 5 spent, every shot he had, and it's only then, with him caught, that you hear your own voice say the plainest sentence you will ever speak. I've been shot. Here's the cruelty of it, the part no one in that cemetery could know, including you. The bullet that found you was small, and it went in clean, just below the breastbone, and by every ordinary rule of the body, it should not have killed you. But you were built a little differently than other men. One kidney sat high, a rare thing, a flaw you carried your whole life and never knew. And the bullet went crooked through the one place in you where it could do its worst. A 1/4 inch of accident, 30 years in the making. You were, in the most literal way there is, the wrong man to shoot. They carry you home through the coming dark. Someone lights the lamps. 3 hours you writhe in pain, long enough for the girl you have loved your whole life to reach you, long enough for her to fold herself down over you and say your name and beg you in every soft word to speak to her just once more. And right at the end, right at the last of you, you open your eyes, you find her face, you hold it as long as there is any of you left to hold it with. Then the warmth goes out of you entirely, and you are gone. Your life ends here in a lamp-lit room, in the arms of the only person who ever knew your whole heart. But the story does not end there, because there is another man in Milford tonight, and he is very much alive. And so we step out of a dead man and into his killer. The town is already coming for your life with a rope. They have you in the little village jail, and you hear them before you see them. Feet gathering outside, then more feet, then the low churn of a crowd that has stopped being a crowd and become something with a single purpose. A man is dead. You did that. 5 chambers, 5 shots, and one of them killed one of the best loved men in the county. And the county knows precisely what it wants to do about it. They walk you out to a wagon, hands close on the horses' bridles to stop the team. Faces you half know and half don't crowd in through the dark, and the word goes up in the June night, the oldest and ugliest word a mob owns: lynch him. You are a black man in southern Ohio in 1889, and you understand, with a clarity that has nothing to do with the whiskey still in you, that these men do not want a trial. They have already held one. They held it the moment they heard your crime. And here's the thing no one could ever explain. You got away from them. The wagon lurched free of the grasping hands and out onto the Batavia Road. And once the rope was behind you, once the dark had swallowed the shouting, you sang. Yes, you let loose and sang. All the way to the county jail in Batavia. You joked and you sang. carried through the dark between your crime and your cage with a tune on your lips, telling anyone who would listen that you've been drinking, that you didn't rightly know why the gun went off, and maybe you had killed no one at all. Whether it was liquor or nerve or terror wearing the mask of nerve, no one could say then, and no one could say now. What you do not realize in the moment is that a quiet man named Tatman, the sheriff, is about to spend 6 weeks saving your life against the wishes of half the county. Because the hatred the mob feels for you does not give up. It comes for you at Batavia. 40 men, hooded and armed, storming a jail to find your cell already empty. Because Tatman had heard them coming and moved you in the night, 1 county east, to Georgetown. It comes for you at Georgetown also, strangers massing at the jail door near midnight until the militia has to be turned out to hold them off. Every time the mob arrives, you're already gone. Every time the sheriff is 1 town, 1 train, 1 dark road ahead of the rope. They bring you back to Batavia to be charged, and you were so frightened of that jail, you beg to be taken anywhere else. And they run you down to the city and lock you in a Cincinnati cell, number 33 behind bars thick enough, at last, to keep a county out. Your trial nearly cannot be held at all. They summon 39 men to sit in judgment of you and manage to seat only 9. The rest already know what you are, or believe they do. And in the middle of it, the rumors run through the county like a spark in a curing barn, that Cooper's widow is now dead, that grief has finished what your bullet started. They say it may raise the town one final time. For 1 long night, Batavia watches the road for torches. The night passes quiet. Then your own lawyers do the one thing no one saw coming. They stop fighting. They stand you up and plead you guilty, murder in the 2nd degree. And at 6 o'clock in the evening, the judge hands you the rest of your life, your natural life in the penitentiary at Columbus. There's one more crowd. Word gets out, and they gather the jail for a last look at you. And when you come out in irons, your nerve finally breaks. You are afraid now, plainly, humanly afraid. No song left anywhere in you, and they hurry you into a carriage and drive you towards the city through the dark. Even now, it's not finished. The fear that runs ahead of you the whole way to Columbus is that the train will be stopped at Milford, that the town where this began will be the town where it all ends, with a rope after all. The train doesn't stop. You go in behind the gray walls at Columbus with a life sentence, and the strange, cold gift of still being alive to serve it. Saved in the end, not by the mercy of the county, but by a stubborn sheriff, a fast train, and the idea that even a man everyone has already condemned is owned his hour in a courtroom instead of on a bridge. The mob came for you 4 times. 4 times it went home with its rope coiled and cold in its hands.